Can individuals truly foresee the future and receive messages from across time and space? For centuries, seers and prophets have emerged, offering profound visions of humanity's destiny. The year 2024 was predicted to bring about profound changes and disasters, with a major war being a recurring theme in many forecasts, alongside references to the fall of a vast empire. Nostradamus, the 16th century French astrologer renowned for his cryptic prophecies, continues to captivate the world with his predictions. So, what does he foresee for 2025? Throughout history, there have been individuals who have amazed us with their extraordinary ability to glimpse into the future. One such figure is Michel de Nostradamus, a French astrologer who lived from 1503 to 1566. Nostradamus is famous for his predictions, many of which continue to astonish and intrigue us even today. Among his many prophecies, one in particular has sent shockwaves across the world. Not long ago, a powerful earthquake, measuring 7.5 in magnitude, struck Ishikawa, Japan, causing widespread devastation. Tragically, 55 lives were lost in this catastrophic event. Strangely, Nostradamus had written about such an earthquake more than 400 years ago. But this was not the only event Nostradamus had foreseen. Prepare for an even more astonishing revelation that awaits our curious minds, which will be revealed in this video. Nostradamus's book Les Prophecies was published in 1555. In this book, he predicted that in the year 2025, a massive earthquake would occur off the coast of Japan, resulting in a destructive tsunami that would devastate homes and claim many lives. Nostradamus also foresaw a great famine, triggered by a pestiferous wave, which might indicate the impact of tsunamis on agricultural lands. The accuracy of his prediction is remarkable, leaving many in disbelief. To understand Nostradamus's life and work, we must delve into his thirst for knowledge and his concerns about potential conflicts with the Church. Nostradamus was born Michel de Nostradamus on December 14, 1503, in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence in the south of France. He was one of 9 children born to Réasar and his wife, Jeanne de Nostradamus, a wealthy grain dealer and part-time notary of Jewish descent. Nostradamus's grandfather, Gaston, had converted to Catholicism a half-century earlier and changed the family name to Nostradamus to avoid persecution during the Inquisition. Little is known about his early years, but evidence suggests that he was a highly intelligent child, advancing quickly through his education. As a young boy, he was tutored by his maternal grandfather, Jean de Saint-Ré, who recognized his exceptional intellect and potential. He learned Latin, Greek, Hebrew, and mathematics. During this time, his exposure to astrology and Jewish traditions from his grandfather laid the foundation for his later prophetic works. At 14, Nostradamus entered the University of Avignon to study medicine. However, he was forced to leave after just 1 year due to an outbreak of the bubonic plague. According to his account, he traveled throughout the countryside researching herbal remedies and working as an apothecary. Nostradamus lived during the 1500s, a time when plagues and diseases were rampant, and astrology and the occult were integral parts of daily life. For many years, he worked as a plague doctor and gained some fame for his herbal remedies, which seemed to help some of the infected. In 1522, he entered the University of Montpellier to complete his medical doctorate. He often expressed dissent with the teachings of Catholic priests, who dismissed his ideas about astrology. Some reports suggest that university officials discovered his previous experience as an apothecary and used this as grounds to expel him, as the school looked down on anyone involved in manual trades. However, most accounts state that he was not expelled and was awarded a medical license in 1525. At this time, he Latinized his name, as was customary for many medieval academics from Nostradamus to Nostradamus. Over the following years, Nostradamus traveled throughout France and Italy, treating victims of the plague. At that time, there were no known remedies, and most doctors relied on mercury potions, bloodletting, and dressing patients in garlic-soaked robes. Nostradamus developed some progressive methods for combating the plague. Instead of bleeding his patients, he practiced effective hygiene and encouraged the removal of infected corpses from city streets. He became famous for creating a rose pill, an herbal lozenge made from rose hips, which was rich in vitamin C and provided relief for patients with milder cases of the plague. His cure rate was impressive, largely due to his focus on cleanliness, low-fat diets, and ensuring his patients had plenty of fresh air. Over time, Nostradamus became something of a local celebrity for his treatments, receiving financial support from many citizens of Provence. In 1531, he was invited to work with a leading scholar of the time, Jules César Scaliger, in Agen, southwestern France. There, he married and had 2 children. Tragically, in 1534, his wife and children died, presumably from the plague, while he was away on a medical mission to Italy. Unable to save his family, he fell out of favor with his community and his patron Scaliger, as he continued to battle the plague. Little did he know that these painful experiences would shape his future as a renowned seer, guiding him toward writing the enigmatic prophecies that would captivate the world. What hidden knowledge did Nostradamus acquire during his medical endeavors that would later influence his mystical predictions? Keep watching to find out. Nostradamus's predictions generally focused on broad types of events, such as natural disasters and conflicts, which are recurrent over time. Many believe that his prophecies predicted significant historical events, such as the death of Henry II, the French Revolution, the rise of Napoleon, the rise of Adolf Hitler, and the 9/11 attacks. By 1554, Nostradamus's visions had become an integral part of his works, and he decided to channel his energies into writing a monumental opus. He originally planned to write 10 volumes of predictions, called Centuries, forecasting the next 2,000 years. In 1555, he published his most famous work, Les Prophecies. Les Prophecies was written in a cryptic and vague style, making it difficult to pinpoint specific events. His prophecies focused on broad occurrences that are common throughout history, such as natural disasters and conflicts. Some believe that his prophecies accurately foretold significant historical moments, including the death of Henry II, the French Revolution, the rise of Napoleon, the rise of Adolf Hitler, and the 9/11 attacks. However, opinions are divided on the accuracy and significance of Nostradamus's predictions. Skeptics argue that the vague nature of his verses allows for retroactive interpretation, where events can seemingly be matched to his prophecies. They suggest that people often find connections between his verses and historical events, due to their broad nature. Despite the controversy surrounding the accuracy of his predictions, the unique nature of Nostradamus's work has firmly established its place in historical records and popular culture. His prophecies continue to intrigue and captivate people around the world. Nostradamus's ambitions extended beyond Les Prophéties. In 1554, he planned to write a grand opus called Centuries, which would contain 10 volumes with 100 predictions forecasting the next 2,000 years. However, only the first volume was completed and published during his lifetime. It remains unclear why Nostradamus never finished the remaining volumes of Centuries. Some suggest that his busy life as a physician, combined with various social and political challenges, hindered his progress. Additionally, Nostradamus faced criticism from religious authorities who viewed his prophecies as a cult and believed he was operating outside the acceptable norms. Despite the unfinished state of Centuries, the first volume of Les Prophéties gained significant recognition and popularity, catapulting Nostradamus to fame during his lifetime. His prophecies captivated many who attempted to interpret their meanings and draw connections to historical events. The unfinished nature of Centuries only heightened the fascination with Nostradamus's work and its influence on popular culture. Even though the full scope of Centuries remains unrealized, the impact of Nostradamus's prophecies has endured through the centuries. His predictions have been interpreted and reinterpreted by numerous individuals, scholars, and enthusiasts, all striving to unlock the secrets hidden in his verses and connect them to modern-day events. Having explored the origins of Nostradamus's predictions, let us now examine some of the events he is believed to have foreseen. One such prophecy is thought to relate to the Great Fire of London in 1666. Nostradamus wrote in Century 2, Quatrain 51. The blood of the just will be demanded of London, burnt by the fire in the year 66. The ancient lady will fall from her high place, and many of the same sect will be killed. Interpreters suggest that the blood of the just refers to the many lives lost in the fire, and London burnt by fire in the year 66 is a clear reference to the Great Fire of London in 1666. The ancient lady is often interpreted as the City of London, traditionally personified as a woman, while many of the same sect will be killed, is thought to refer to the religious conflict that followed the fire. It is important to recognize that interpretations of Nostradamus's writings are highly subjective, and many scholars and skeptics argue that his quatrains are vague and can be applied to various events that have already occurred, rather than predicting them. Therefore, while intriguing, the connection between this prophecy and the Great Fire of London should be viewed with some skepticism. Nevertheless, the connection between Nostradamus's prediction and the actual fire remains striking. But there's more. Just when it seemed the prophecies couldn't become more chilling, Nostradamus also predicted the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Nostradamus wrote, "There will be scourges the like of which was never seen." This description certainly applies to the devastation wrought upon the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which were obliterated by atomic bombs at the end of World War II. Those who survived the immediate blast suffered from painful radiation poisoning, and many perished. The stone in the tree mentioned in Nostradamus's quatrain might be interpreted as a reference to the mushroom cloud that engulfed the sky above the cities, or even a symbolic object like a bomb or stone, appearing in a place where it shouldn't, in a tree or the sky. The quatrain paints an increasingly grim picture, forecasting famine and plague, which could be alluding to the radiation sickness and the long-lasting consequences of war. The mention of the earth growing more parched could refer to the increasing aridity in many regions due to rising temperatures and changing weather patterns. Likewise, the prediction of great floods could be seen as a reference to extreme weather events, including hurricanes, typhoons, and heavy rainfall that are becoming more frequent and severe due to global warming. These events can lead to devastating flooding, displacing communities and causing widespread damage. In today's world, where the effects of climate change are becoming increasingly evident, this prophecy could be interpreted as a warning about the urgent need to address environmental issues and reduce greenhouse gas emissions to mitigate the impact of climate change. The prophecy continues with Nostradamus stating, "No abbots, monks, no novices to learn. Honey costs far more than candle wax. So high the price of wheat that man has stirred his fellow man to eat in his despair." There will be a significant decline in the finances of prosperous countries. Social unrest will tear apart nations, and people will resort to farming and migrating to other regions with more water. It's better to be prepared than to cry at that time. Conflicts will arise between states as they fight over water. But that is just one of the many prophecies for this year. Another prophecy by Nostradamus states that this year, the health of Vladimir Putin will be under threat. This Russian leader will suffer health issues, leading to a turbulent year for him. According to Nostradamus, Putin will face significant health challenges. But it is important to note that Nostradamus's prophecies are often cryptic and open to interpretation, lacking specific details regarding the exact nature, timing, or severity of the health issues Putin may encounter. The prediction also mentions a diabolical successor born under the same Chinese zodiac sign, someone close to Putin who would exploit this situation. This individual will try to seize power from Putin, both nationally and internationally. The person responsible for this act will be a close confidant of Putin, and the change in leadership will lead to a destabilizing environment. Another disturbing prophecy by Nostradamus for this year is the change in the world economy. He says, as wealth and power begin to sway, doubt in leaders, currencies stray in search of answers, A changing trend, new horizons back around the bend. The prophecy suggests a significant change in the world economy, with a shift in wealth and power leading to uncertainty in leadership, currencies seeking stability and direction. According to Nostradamus, India will emerge as a key player in reshaping the global geopolitical and financial landscape in 2025. This prophecy aligns with India's growing economic influence and potential on the world stage. With its large and diverse economy, rapidly growing population, and increasing strategic importance, India has the potential to become a major player in shaping global economic trends and policies. Several factors contribute to India's potential to reshape the global landscape in 2025, such as the country's demographic dividend, with a young and dynamic population presenting significant economic growth and innovation opportunities. India's ongoing economic reforms, infrastructure development, and emphasis on digital technologies also position it as a key player in the global economy. Or in the global. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, we still have the most intriguing prediction of Nostradamus: the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations. In his quatrains and writings, Nostradamus alludes to possible contact with beings from other planets or dimensions. Some interpreters believe his references to beings from the sky and strange crafts could indicate encounters with extraterrestrial life forms. These interpretations have sparked speculation and debate among those who study Nostradamus's works and the phenomenon of extraterrestrial life. One of the most cited passages often associated with the idea of extraterrestrial civilization in Nostradamus's prophecies is Century 2, Quatrain 30, which reads, "When the great pontiff changes his abode, and the entire world is in commotion, far away from Rome, people of all ranks will be against him." While this quatrain does not explicitly mention extraterrestrial life, some believers in Nostradamus's prophecies interpret the references to a great pontiff and people being far away from Rome as symbolic descriptions of an otherworldly encounter or cosmic event. Before we dive deeper, let's rewind to address some important quotes by Nostradamus that relate to prophecies for 2025. Two significant quotes, one relating to a naval year and another about the King of the Isles, have sparked considerable interest and speculation. Nostradamus predicted a naval year in 2025, describing red adversaries growing pale with fear and instilling dread in the great ocean. This quote has generated speculation that it may point toward an impending conflict, specifically an attack on Taiwan by China. The association with red adversaries aligns with China's flag being red. Considering the rising tensions in the region, this prediction raises concerns about potential military confrontations and their impact on global stability. He also predicted that the King of the Isles would not remain in power for too long, and said, "A new king shall be anointed who for a long time will appease the earth." Many interpret the King of the Isles as referencing King Charles III. Consequently, there is anticipation that Charles will face personal attacks due to his relationship with Camilla, stemming from the controversy surrounding Princess Diana. The quote implies that Charles may ascend to the throne, but might face challenges and a potentially short reign. The mention of a new king fostering global peace raises questions about the actions and leadership of future monarchs. Nostradamus's prediction of the Queen's death reflects his prophecy's accuracy and potential importance. It raises curiosity about the precision and validity of his other predictions, including those related to global events and personalities. Moving beyond geopolitical and royal matters, the note touches upon Pope Francis, the current religious head of Catholics. Nostradamus's prophecy hints at the possibility of his replacement by someone else, though no specific details are provided to discern this potential succession's timing, circumstances, or implications. Nevertheless, the mention of Pope Francis adds another layer of intrigue and invites further exploration into the future of religious leadership within the Catholic Church. Nostradamus then says, "Through the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. Of him it will be said that he weakens his see, but long will he sit in biding activity." A younger pope would take possession, and there could be a potential reduction in power, possibly signaling the decline of the Catholic Church's power. This has piqued a lot of curiosity because it reminds us of Saint Malachi's prophecy of the last pope. Despite facing criticism for his predictions, Nostradamus remained steadfast in his beliefs, continuing to pursue what he thought was right. He left behind a legacy that has intrigued scholars and enthusiasts for centuries. In 1566, he passed away, but his cryptic verses remain, challenging readers to decipher their meaning and uncover the secrets of the future. Interpreting Nostradamus's writings presents numerous challenges, as his verses are open to a wide range of interpretations, leading to debates among scholars and believers. While many view him as a visionary, others dismiss his predictions as mere products of imagination. The question of belief in Nostradamus's predictions remains a personal one. Some believe wholeheartedly in his prophecies, seeing them as glimpses into the future, while others remain skeptical, attributing the similarities between his predictions and historical events to coincidence. Ultimately, the truth of Nostradamus's predictions can only be revealed with time. Whether his prophecies will pass this year or in the future is uncertain. However, by examining past events and comparing them to his predictions, we may better understand the man and his work. Nostradamus's prophecies challenge us to decipher the hidden meanings in his verses, to capture a glimpse of the future through his words. He has intertwined the deaths of notable figures and the looming threat of natural and man-made disasters. These prophecies have fascinated and startled people throughout history, igniting passionate discussions and evoking a mix of hope and fear. Understanding the true essence of Nostradamus's mystical insights allows us to glimpse what lies ahead, serving as a guiding light through the complexities of life. Nostradamus's predictions persistently resonate as we move through time, reminding us of the mystery that connects the past, present, and enigmatic future. The recent earthquake in Ishikawa, Japan, stands as a testament to the prophetic vision of this extraordinary French astrologer. However, there is an air of anticipation that extends beyond this revelation. Prepare yourself for the secrets that await us in the coming months. Could they be earth-shattering, resonating deeply within the collective consciousness of our beloved planet? Stay curious and open-minded, for the uncovered knowledge may reshape our understanding of time, destiny, and the very fabric of our existence. Thank you for watching. We will see you in our next video.